you today? I hope that you're all just fine and doing great while studying at home. I am glad to be with you here today and be part of your learning adventure. I am Teacher Lizel, your English teacher. Did you know that there are different ways in answering questions after reading it? Yes, that's great, and we will be learning about that today. Now, let me check first if you're ready for today's learning. Do you have with you now your pen and your English activity notebook? If yes, then let's start our happy learning. Graphic organizers in text read. Are you excited? Before we start, let me check first your prior knowledge. What comes to your mind when you hear the word graphic organizers? Is it a map, a diagram, or a chart? If you have the same idea with me, then you're right. Organizer is a teaching and learning tool that is used to organize information and ideas in a way that is easy to comprehend and internalize. By integrating text and visuals, graphic organizers show relationships and connections between concepts, terms, and facts. There are many different forms of graphic organizers, each with its own unique way of organizing and displays specific bits of information. Number 1. T-chart helps to organize ideas into two columns and examine two components of an object, concept, or events. It is used to show causes and effects or advantages and disadvantages. Let's take a look at this paragraph and try to use the T-chart to organize ideas. Television is one of the most popular means of media. It provides information, education, and entertainment. Gathering around the television gives families something to bond over. However, it can be addicting. It can make you lazy and prone to health problems like obesity and sleep difficulties. Here are the steps to follow. Step 1. Draw a T-chart and write down the two areas you want to brainstorm around in each column head. Do not forget to write the main topic at the top. Step 2. Write down facts in each column as you carry out your brainstorming. In our example, we will look for the positive effects of television and write them down for the column of advantages. You can use keywords here instead of writing the whole sentence. Information and education, entertainment, and bonding with family. Next, we will look for the negative effects and write them down in the column for disadvantages. Can be addicting, can make people lazy, and can cause health problems. Number 2. Concept map shows relationship between the main idea and other information. Concepts or ideas are presented in boxes or circles and are linked to related ideas with arrows. This pattern helps students identify a main concept and the ranks or levels of sub-concepts under it. It can also be used to illustrate hierarchical information. Let's look at the paragraph and then use the concept map to visualize the ideas easily. Coconut is a valuable resource. Its trunk can be used to make benches and tables. Its leaves can be used to make mats, sleepers, and bags. Coconut oil can be used for cooking, and coconut shell can be turned into charcoal. Remember, a concept map is presented in a hierarchy, so we must begin from the top and branch out the main ideas to different subtopics. In this text, our main idea is coconut. Then, we will use lines to connect the main idea to the subtopics, which are the useful parts of the coconut. Then, we also add where these parts are used for. Again, we will connect the concepts using lines. Number 3. Main idea web. It starts with a central idea and branches out into related ideas and details or sub-ideas. This type of graphic organizer is used primarily for brainstorming and generating ideas. Sometimes it is referred to as a spider or semantic web. Let's take a look at this example. There are different needs for animals to survive. Animals need food to grow. They need shelter or a place to live in. They also need special care and love. To make a main idea web, write down the main idea at the center of the map. Then, brainstorm ideas and information related to it. Write these ideas and branches emerging from the center. Lastly, add connectors between these elements and add labels to highlight the kind of relationships between them. How are you, kids? I hope that you are still diligently watching and learning. Is it clear to you now what are graphic organizers? Will you be able to use a T-chart, a concept map, and a main idea web appropriately? If yes, that's great! Now, let's learn more about the different examples of graphic organizers and their uses. Keep watching and learning. Number 4. Venn diagram. It is used to compare and contrast two or more groups of things by visually displaying their similarities and differences in two or more circles that overlap. Let's take a look at an example and let's learn how to use the Venn diagram. Although nuts and beans have their own set of similarities, there are still some intriguing differences between them. Nuts and beans are two foods that are rich in protein and they are found inside the shell or pod. However, a nut is considered as a fruit while a bean is considered as a seed. To make a Venn diagram, draw two overlapping circles. Next, write down the topics being compared on the top of each circles. Then, write down the differences inside its own section, avoiding the overlapping area. Finally, list the similarities in the common area. Number 5. Flowchart or the sequence chart. It is a graphical representation of steps. It shows steps in sequential order. Typically, a flowchart shows the steps as boxes of various kinds and their order by connecting them with arrows. The butterfly starts its life as an egg. Soon, the egg hatches and a larva comes out, which we call a caterpillar. It does not stay on this stage for long. They grow by shredding off their outer skin into the pupa stage. The last stage is when a beautiful butterfly emerges from the pupa. To make a simple flowchart, identify the steps in the process and put each stage or event inside the box. Make sure the steps or events are arranged in a sequential order. Then, connect the boxes with arrows. Now, before we proceed, let's have first a short recap of today's lesson. We learned that graphic organizers integrate both text and visuals, and by using them can be very useful for both teachers and learners like you, as they will help lesson more engaging and easily understood. We also learned about some of the different examples of graphic organizers and learned how to use them. A T-chart is used for text that presents cause and effect relationships, advantages and disadvantages, and even for problem and solution text. A concept map is used for visualizing the ideas easily. A main idea web is primarily used for brainstorming and generating ideas. A Venn diagram is used for comparing and contrasting two or more groups of things. And a flow chart or a sequence chart is used for sequencing and arranging events, steps, or processes. How was it, kids? Did you have fun learning about using appropriate graphic organizers in text grid? Yes? Good job! I'm sure that you will be able to answer all the activities in this lesson. Are you ready? Read along with me the short selection about asteroids and meteoroids. Then compare and contrast asteroids and meteoroids based on the text we will read using an appropriate graphic organizer. You are given 2 minutes to do this activity. Flying rocks. There are rocks in our solar system that never flock together to form planets. Larger ones, called asteroids, gather in the asteroid belt, a strip found between Mars and Jupiter. Some asteroids don't move along this belt but have paths that bring them close to the Earth. These are called Apollo asteroids. There may be 500,000 asteroids whose diameter are bigger than 1 kilometer. The largest asteroid is over 1,000 kilometers across. It is speculated that many asteroids were once larger, but they collided with each other and they became small fragments. And like asteroids, meteoroids are small rocky bodies that are scattered in space and do not orbit the Sun. They cross the Earth's orbit and are often seen burning up in the Earth's atmosphere at night. The faint flashes of light they make are called shooting stars. Now, let's check if you have the same answers with me. Did you get it all correct? If yes, good job! If you did not, do not worry. You still have other activities to do. Read along with me the short selection about our tongue. Then give the causes and effects found in the text we read using an appropriate graphic organizers. You are given 2 minutes to do the activity. Did you know that your tongue is a muscle? Well, it is. And it is the only muscle you have that is covered in saliva and taste buds. Having taste buds stops you from eating rotten food. Having saliva protects you from germs and bacteria. Gross, but helpful. Congratulations, kids! We're almost done. Now, it's time to assess your learning of today's lesson. Read along with me the short selection that will follow. Then arrange the events in order using an appropriate graphic organizer. You are given 2 minutes to do the activity. Teresa is now in grade 6. She wakes up early in the morning and prays before doing anything. She fixes her bed and takes a bath to freshen herself. After dressing up, she helps her mother in setting up the table for their breakfast. Then she washes the dishes after eating breakfast. Lastly, she gets her pen and activity notebooks together with her modules to study and answer. Although Teresa is the only child in the family, she is still a responsible and kind girl. That is why a lot of people like her so much. You answered all the questions, kids? Great! That's awesome! You did a good job today. Just like the girl in the story, she made sure that she answered all the activities in her modules. Do you think she is worthy to be imitated? Yes, of course. It is important for us to be responsible in doing every task given to us. For you, as learners, it is important for you to be responsible in answering all the activities in your modules and in doing every school project without forgetting to help your parents in doing the house chores. I hope that you had a great time learning with me and be more excited to keep on learning. Keep in mind that learning will never be fun and meaningful if you did not learn at all. Once again, this has been Teacher Lizel, always eager to be with you as you continue the journey in learning English. Thanks for doing your part. You sure are smart. You sure work hard. When you use your mind, take a step at a time. You can do anything that you wanna do.
Thanks for doing your part. You sure are smart. You sure worked hard. When you use your mind, take a step at a time. You can do anything that you wanna do.